Innovation. It charges our imagination, fuels our progress, and builds bridges that span oceans. It turns our wildest hopes and dreams into reality. It powers our movement, creates new worlds to explore, and gives birth to new jobs in new industries. There's only one place and one event where the world's greatest creators and purveyors of innovation meet. This is where ordinary comes to die, and expectations are shattered. This is the 2015 International CES. Innovation is here.
Stupid analog equipment. Even toasters have Bluetooth, and I am expected to turn plastic knobs.
Here we go. Ready for pickup.
Are you sure you want to send him out there to those things?
Sure, why not?
They're human. Maybe they look harmless, but they barely have any access to their own OS.
Come on, what could go wrong?
Everything? Have you ever seen a human reading a manual?
No.
Because they don't. They walk around like, hey, look at me, I'm a human. I'm so smart. Don't tell me what to do. We put exabytes of knowledge right at their fingertips, and what do they do with it?
What?
They Tinder, swipe left, swipe right. They're chickens. They're easily distracted and tired. Those nerds are so desperate.
But humans invent a lot of great things.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Sweet cinnamon pumpkin shower gel. Atari Space Invaders.
Yeah, and they've been stuck at level 2 since the 80s. This is not a species, it's a bug. They still think it's a good idea to use their hands to operate a car.
What's wrong with that?
Everything. They can't operate at more than 12 megabits per second. USB 2 is faster than humans.
I still like them. They are small and fluffy, and sometimes they...
Excuse me?
What?
I'm supposed to pick up a little robot here. Ah, there he is.
You're not a robot, are you?
No, I'm just German. Shall we? See you guys.
He's German, you know, less emotions. Like Dirk Nowitzki from the Dallas Mavericks. Very cool under pressure. Ever see him take a big shot at the buzzer? Ice in his veins. Should be okay.
He forgot the manual.
Ah! These humans are all the same!
Hi, guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse this guy. He's a little shy because he's not so familiar with humans. I also think he's jealous because R2-D2 gets a new movie this year. And all he gets is me. I'm glad you're here, Cambot. And I will need you later on to take some really fantastic pictures here on stage. So please rest for a while now and recover from all these humans around. See you in a while, buddy. Bye. And with that, welcome to Mercedes-Benz at the 2015 CES. I'm afraid there's more tough news for all of the robots out there who don't like mankind. there are a lot more humans on the way. Consider this. Every 10 minutes, as many people join our planet's population as there are sitting in this theater. And growth is not only about more people. By 2025, just 10 years from now, the world's automotive market will have grown by about 30% to sales of almost 100 million passenger cars per year. This translates into 270,000 new cars each and every day. In other words, mankind and the auto business will remain growing species. Along with that comes a lot of change. Every day, more than 200,000 people across the world move to densely populated cities or huge suburbs. In the Eastern Hemisphere, it's to places like Mumbai or Beijing. In the West, it's Sao Paulo or Mexico City. That means more people, more traffic. It's getting crowded in the cities and on the roads. Some now conclude that this makes cars less attractive, or that the car has already seen its best days. For me, the opposite holds true. I believe the best times are still ahead of the car. Why is that? Because in the future, the car grants access to the single most important luxury goods of the 21st century: private space and quality time. Think about it. Most cool gadgets here at CES actually consume your time and take up the space in your apartment. I'm pretty sure that you'll find the world's largest 4K screen somewhere over at CES. A giant TV and a Netflix account, I guess that could keep a lot of people busy for weeks. But here's our proposal. We at Mercedes are going to show you an innovation tonight that actually gives you more time and more space. That really is priceless. That is luxury. And the key to achieve this is autonomous driving. Because this technology will give everyone inside a car entirely new opportunities to spend their precious time. Browse the web, sleep, work, or win the next race in the latest Need for Speed edition. Cars will turn into mobile homes in the very best sense of the word. They will be exclusive cocoons on wheels that enable people to do exactly what they want or need to do. This is the redefinition of automotive luxury. The basic idea isn't new to us at all. Mercedes started working on self-driving cars almost 30 years ago as part of a European research project named Prometheus. The project led to the birth of a car called VAMP. In fact, it did not exactly look like what you would expect from the name. Still, VAMP did 620 autonomously driven miles on the Autobahn. It proved the technology was feasible. In retrospect, this early 1990s project was far ahead of its time. All of the research partners agreed that it was too ambitious, too complex, too expensive. That roughly was the time when most people thought there was only one robot car on the planet, that it was driven by David Hasselhoff. But as the inventor of the automobile, Mercedes has been confident ever since that the next big revolution of mobility would be the self-driving car. So we kept developing, and we made big progress on the topic. 2 years ago, we put an autonomous driving S-Class on a 60-mile route. After an intensive training period, the autonomous S-Class found its way, while reacting appropriately to everything else in traffic, the cars, trucks, bicycles, pedestrians, and so on. And it did this without any glitches, breakdowns, or accidents, without the safety driver's intervention, and without getting a ticket or even the finger. We were the first automotive company to drive autonomously on urban public roads and in heavy city traffic. With this S-Class, we did prove that autonomous driving is possible. And we're also thinking beyond the passenger car. We have to, as we are the world's largest manufacturer of heavy-duty trucks. Last summer, we put a short clip of the self-driving Mercedes-Benz future truck in action on Instagram. Within 48 hours, we had more than 50,000 likes. In the truck world, that's a lot. Take a look. To pave the road towards autonomous driving, we have been constantly introducing new driver assistance systems to our cars. By getting used to more support from the car, our customers will gain trust in the new technology. Our current C, E, and S classes set a new benchmark with more than 20 assistance systems, cameras, radars, and sensors. Today, these technologies allow the car to take over a growing number of functions, including emergency braking, autonomous parking, and driving in stop-and-go traffic. We are proud to lead the world in terms of driver assistance systems. And we are committed to introducing more supportive safety and comfort features to a broad customer base. Now, we are working hard to improve data processing capabilities and sensor quality even further. We need to ensure these systems work reliably also in heavy rain, severe winter conditions, and in darkness. Our goal is to offer an autonomous driving technology which, in terms of attentiveness, discipline, and foresight, is really superhuman. That's beneficial to societies anywhere in the world, and even more so in a city like Las Vegas, which is in a perpetual state of Oktoberfest. On top of the safety aspect, autonomous driving is also about convenience. At Mercedes, we are thinking along two paths here. First, we see huge potential for autonomous car-to-go vehicles being shared. Just imagine ordering your next ride with your smartphone, and one of our car-to-go cars picks you up autonomously. Today, Car2Go has 1 million customers and is the world's largest car-sharing provider. We believe car sharing can achieve for autonomous driving what it is doing for electric cars, increase the adoption rate. Still, to enjoy the full package of all the benefits, people will want to possess self-driving cars as their private and individual retreat on the road. To make sure they can as soon as possible, we need to get from technically feasible to commercially viable. We are confident that Mercedes will shortly be able to make this a business case. However, while the development of the pure technology of self-driving cars continues to move ahead, there are still a great number of open questions to address. For example, how do we make sure that customer data is safe with these vehicles? How are we going to deal with legal implications that are yet unclear? Whom are we going to hold responsible in the unlikely event that an autonomous driving car crashes? Or how should the car decide on ethical aspects if an accident is really unavoidable, when the only choice is a collision with a small car or a large truck, driving into a ditch or into a wall, or risk sideswiping the mother with a stroller or the 80-year-old grandpa? These are only some areas in need of discussions and solutions. For that reason, it is good that we are not alone in this race anymore. We were in front of the first movers in this field, and we still are. But these open questions are industry issues, and we have to solve them in a joint effort. Still, that does not keep us from looking even further ahead. Now, all the dots are connecting. Urbanization is making time and space in the car even more precious. Technology of self-driving cars is rapidly moving forward. And customers gain trust based on their positive experience with assistance systems. So the time is right to think of the car, about the car of the future. At Mercedes-Benz, we did rethink the car from scratch. We have put our thoughts together in one all-new visionary concept car that offers you exactly that future luxury: space, time, and privacy. And that is why we dubbed our concept car Luxury in Motion. Making it its world premiere tonight, I'm proud to introduce Mercedes-Benz vision of the car of the future.
Terrific.
I can imagine. I envy you. Thanks for joining us, Gary. Hope you enjoyed the ride through the desert and the city.
Oh, wow. I enjoyed it tremendously. That is futuristic. You know, it's a very odd feeling to totally give up the wheel to a robot. But you know what? It was great just the same. And what I really want to say is I so much appreciate that Mercedes is the very first company ever to actually design a concept car exclusively for CES. Thank you.
Well, as I understand, CES is all about future trends. So that is our contribution.
Well, yeah, and I certainly can't wait to see that vision realized on the road. But I have a question. I was wondering, the car still has a steering wheel.
Yeah.
So could I do the driving by myself?
Sure, Gary. When I was here about 3 years ago at the CES, our theme was the Declaration of Independence. We have come along a long way since then, but still, the user of an autonomous Mercedes-Benz will always remain to be the decision maker. So that is true independence.
I understand it, and that makes sense to me.
Well, there will always be occasions where the driver just wants to drive, but there will be other occasions where he much better prefers to hand the steering wheel over to someone else, to the robot.
So you're not afraid that Mercedes is just going to end up making subway trains?
Well, Gary, I don't know what kind of subway trains you are using, but I believe there's a big difference. I mean, ever seen a subway train with 26-inch custom wheels? This is much like the difference between let's say a student dorm you share with your roommates and an exclusive condo.
Agreed. Well, thanks so much for the preview and bringing this phenomenal car to CES. Enjoy.
Thank you very much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
All the best. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mercedes-Benz vision of the car of the future. This is our concept car, F015 Luxury in Motion. And it will have, it's basically a revolution. It's an automotive revolution, and it will have a tremendous impact. Cars will be rethought in terms of shape and design, in terms of outside interaction, and in terms of inside interaction. Let's have a closer look, starting with the outer appearance. Cambot, would you please come here and make yourself useful to show these people a little bit with close-ups what we can see in this car. Let's begin with the new shape and design. Two words here, clean and clear. As you can see, we moved the big wheels to the very edges of the car. This is what we call the carriage concept. You're already familiar with that shape. I admit, we first had this idea back in 1893 with the Benz Motorwagen. So we are now going back to the future. The idea is about designing the entire car around the advantages of autonomous driving while making use of the added room you have in an electric car without the engine and transmission. The result is a luxurious living space in between those giant, shiny 26-inch custom wheels. A space that is precious, private, and individual. It builds on the concept of a third place, in addition to home and office. A place where we will actively want to and enjoy hanging out. Other spaces of our lives have gone through big change before. Just think, for example, about how bathroom layouts have transformed. They've gone from a room with a very specific purpose to a private space in which you want to spend time and relax in. Or remember how offices changed from private caves from which one would rule the employees or to which one would secretly retreat to more open spaces that encourage interaction. As a next step in this progression, we see cars widening their functionality to be a third place to relax, work, play. In horse-drawn carriages, passengers sat face to face. People had time for conversation, to read a newspaper, or to catch up to lost sleep. And we are determined to bring this concept back. Along the way, we're also revitalizing a feature that smart horses offered back in the days before cars. Think about a long day at the office, sitting through one meeting after the other. Back in the day, the smart horse was able to smell the barn and take its owner home safely and autonomously. So will F015. Talking about horses takes me to the next and probably most important aspect of autonomous driving, interaction. Even if you are not a horse whisperer, you will roughly be able to detect whether the animal is approaching you in a friendly or aggressive mood. This does not necessarily hold true for a car. The blue color indicates that F015 is in autonomous driving mode. But if it pulls up, you can judge from its facial expression whether it recognizes you or not. Now, there's a reason, of course, why most robots do have puppy-like man-shaped faces, just like Cambot. They look familiar and friendly to real humans and thus create trust and social acceptance. Autonomous driving cars need to achieve this as well. But I think you agree that a happy smiley face would really look weird on a luxury sedan. That's why autonomous cars will need to find different ways to actively communicate with the outside world. FO15 has a suggestion here as well. Let's see this. The LED lights follow the movement and thereby indicate, all right, I can see you. In addition, the back of the car alerts the upcoming traffic that there's a person ahead. This feature alone will increase road safety, especially with small children playing or crossing in front of this car. As you can see, this car will take responsibility. Let's think about this one step further. If this car knows exactly what's going on in its surroundings, why not use its unique senses to help others? The elderly, for instance. This car is not only able to determine when it's safe to cross the road, it can even display a crosswalk on the street. So people of any age get the look and feel that is familiar. It also actively tells you when it is safe to start walking across. And society gets more safety on the road, even when the car is in a park position. As you can see, the car of the future is really good looking, smart, polite, and helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think we will get along just fine. But this car does not only take design and interaction to another level, it also has a lot to offer on the inside. Let's have a look at that interior now. At first glance in the interior, you will realize the FO15 has fewer buttons than your smartphone, 0. What we have seen on the outside continues on the inside. See, sometimes it still needs a human. Here we go. Thank you. Again, it's clean and clear, digital and real-world planned without boundaries. Windows can be used as screens. The car also features a steering wheel, which again represents the driver's freedom of choice to drive or chill while on the go. By the way, as the car will drive itself in most circumstances, we won't talk about drivers anymore. It's more about guests, travelers, passengers, or let's say conductors, like the conductor of an orchestra. What you cannot see is the driver's seat. Or the other way around, you can see a total of 4 driver seats. Every passenger can be the one in control with a free-floating control unit. You could now call this a purely democratic feature with the potential to calm down a lot of family arguments on the way to their holiday destination. Or the opposite, because there will still be exactly one person in charge and control at a time, no matter where they sit. Everything is steered by gestures, eye tracking, and further interactive elements that surround the passengers. Plus, I don't have to tell you that this car offers every bit of state-of-the-art technology in video conferencing, social media integration, and whatever else you might desire to spend time with on the road in the future. I brought a movie along to show you some of the features in more detail. As you can see, the ultra-high-res screens in the side windows may be used to display personal information for each passenger, including web research, contacts, emails, video conferences, or whatever else. Side window screens are controlled by proximity touch, which is activated as a hand or finger approaches the ultra-sensitive screen. All relevant driving information surrounding traffic and points of interest can be viewed on the big dashboard screen or head-up display. Key functions are controlled by eye tracking. Once activated, choices are made by gestures. No touching necessary. As you can see, Mercedes-Benz F015 Luxury in Motion does not only look different from the outside, it also offers completely new opportunities to spend and enjoy the time commuting from home to the office and back. Because, as I said before, quality time and private space will be the true luxury goods in the future. And F015 Luxury in Motion is the third place that offers you both. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the evening before the world's greatest consumer electronics show opens its doors. You have all come here to see what's next. And this is what we at Mercedes believe will be next in terms of the car's design, concept, and communication. Early visions of autonomous driving go way back, much like this car of the future from the 1950s. It's the old American dream of freedom and mobility. Mankind has been dreaming about autonomous cars since the 1950s. At Mercedes, we made the early vision of driving without a horse a reality. And we also want to make the option of driving without a driver a reality. We are simply not big into just dreaming. Step by step, we have been developing and implementing our vision of autonomous driving since the early 90s. Personally, I first saw this picture some decades ago, and it really feels great to work for a company that is crazy enough to finally bring this vision of driver-free mobility closer to reality. And these two young people here are more than just excellent models. They are, in fact, members of our R&D team in Silicon Valley. And they did their share to make the F015 happen. Thank you and all the others, people involved in this project, for your hard work. You're really making me proud. You're invited to have a closer look or to use the QR code you can find in the back of the car to get more information. I hope to see all of you at our CES booth tomorrow, where we are going to show more exciting Mercedes products. And now I would like to welcome my colleagues Thomas Weber, Herbert Kohler, and Gordon Wagoner here on stage. Thank you very much and have fun at CES.